Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning, great patriots. I'm gonna wait for a few people to join here and we'll get started. But I just want to talk a little bit about Barack Obama, and I want to talk about how he was perpetrated on not just the black community, but on this great country of ours. And I mean, it is crazy when you start to look at all of the things that Barack Obama did or didn't do in his time in office. And this video I was planning to make anyways. I had already started my planning, so I haven't taken my detailed notes on it, so y'all bear with me. But I just came from, I was, this morning before I took my son to school, I stopped by my parents' house, and somehow, just that quickly, we got into a nice little political debate, and and of course Barack Obama was one of the subjects. See, my dad is a big time Barack Obama fan, of course. You know, same reasons why most people are: identity politics. And he was telling me that Trump is the most racist president we've ever had. And I was telling him, hey, look, man, you can believe that if you want. Well, first, I told him that was just an uneducated statement. I did tell my dad that. But I was telling him, like, just, and the thing about it with Obama that just kills me with people, especially black people. Black. I don't identify with Obama as a black American, point blank, period. You know. And it has nothing to do with his heritage. It has nothing to do with it's the way he conducted himself while in office. You know, I mean, if he and the thing about it, like this is the biggest thing that I tell people. Like Barack Hussein Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Has there ever? I don't know any black person with the name Hussein. Not one. I can't name one. If somebody can, please tell me. But I think that he was the biggest fraud perpetrated on the American people, at least in our lifetime. Maybe not so in history, but definitely in our lifetime and in our environment. And a few things just to corroborate my story is I really don't even need to get into the memo. I don't even need to get into the FISA memo. I don't even need to get into the, you know, because that implicates his Department of Justice, his State Department. That implicates several of, and this is the thing. Obama had so many holdovers into the Trump administration to slow things down for Trump, and people just refuse to acknowledge that. So, and this is the thing that I tell people to if you want to get an understanding of what Barack Obama did for black people, just think about this. Think about a time, 2008, fresh elected, and up until 2016, in the worst neighborhoods in America. Did they get better or did they get worse? Because, see, our fundamental problems in this country won't fix until we fix the lowest of the low, the people who really need help more than others. And that's going to be your veterans this out here, your homeless, your underprivileged families, your low-income families, the people who are struggling just to get by every day. Once we start to improve, those people will start to see improvement in the country. And under Barack Obama, if you ask me, just from I don't have to check any statistics on this, just from being able to go out into these communities, you see what has and hasn't been done. In 8 years of Obama, it seemed like the worst communities in this country only got worse. They only got worse. And the thing is, like I say, people just, for whatever reason, they don't even look at it. Chicago, where Obama's supposedly from, which I have other theories on that, of course, but where he's supposedly from, if you just look at Chicago, what is Chicago right now? There are so many prominent people from Chicago that Chicago should be able to take care of itself, but they can't. They can't. Chicago has become just a killing machine, and this is a place that we have too many influential people that are supposed to be from this place for them to let it fall to this point, you know. And Minneapolis, Minnesota. I mean, the thing about it is, it's a lot of these democratically ran cities. Cities with Democratic mayors that have had strongholds over the city for a long time, and you start to see things like that. Oprah's from Chicago as well, and so you're already talking about billions on top of millions of dollars that could be pumped into that community, that could be used to help people in that community really grow and upreach and get them out of that situation, but that's not it. And yet Muslims and globalism was Obama's biggest agenda, and that's what I'm trying to explain to people, and they get all the information from the news, and they try to talk to me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Like my sources are the ones that's wrong. Like I'm the one who don't know that the CIA's been running the news for decades, and we have, like I said, we have a lot of things to look at. Now, one of the other things I want to talk about is the 2008 housing collapse. The 2008 housing collapse, we know, was detrimental to so many American families. But let me tell you something. Obama and his team refused to prosecute the rampant fraud behind that, the rampant fraud behind the 2008 crashing of the market. Why? It's because they were in the pockets of these bankers, of these globalists, and they had global interests at heart rather than the heart of the American people. And thank you, Judy, man. I know it does take a lot to do this because, like I said, man, I literally had a heated debate with my parents this morning about Barack Obama and about Donald Trump. Listen, at this point, I'll debate this with anybody because I know I'm telling people the truth. I know who Barack Obama is, what he was, just a Manchurian candidate. He was the epitome of their identity politics game, and he was also just a dummy set in place for them to be able to, if we can justify a black guy getting in, we can justify a woman getting in, we can justify Hillary Clinton becoming the president. So Barack Obama was just getting us prepared for Hillary Clinton presidency. And people don't seem to want to hear that, understand that. Like I tell my dad, he said, oh, they picked Trump. I said, well, if they picked Trump, how come on the news and CNN and everywhere else you look before the election, everybody said Hillary's going to win this election? He's telling me that the job market increased because of what Obama did. But the thing about it is Obama was in office for 8 years. He had plenty of time to improve the job market, to improve unemployment, to get tax cuts passed, to do all of these great things that are finally coming to fruition now. He had an opportunity to do them. Also, he had an opportunity to shut down a lot of this malignant and poor legislation that got passed through that he signed off on that makes him directly responsible for it. And also, Obamacare is one of the biggest frauds perpetrated on the American people. And that's usually the number one thing I get when people try to defend Barack Obama is they start to talk to me about Obamacare. And I ask them this, do you know anybody personally that Obamacare has helped? And most people say no. And it's because it's too expensive. Damn right, Snoopy, it's too expensive. People typically don't have it. They don't want it. Or, like I said, because the system is broken. And do I think that we need some type of universal or nationwide health care? Yes, we need nationwide health care, but it needs to be something that's affordable, something that's effective. And I believe that a health care reform is really on the rise too. So I think that we'll see the health care reform we need to see now that we're getting more of the Obamacare legislation repealed, which definitely needs to happen. Like I said, getting the individual mandate out with the Tax and Jobs Cut Act was a very strong move by Trump. But like I said, if people always say, oh well, Trump's just trying to undo Obama's legacy. Well, if they understood what Obama's legacy was, they would understand why Trump would be doing all these things to undo Obama's legacy, to get rid of some of this unneeded regulation and rules and stipulations and things that have been holding this country back to keep infrastructure projects from getting done. Like, people don't understand. We sat and waited and for infrastructure for so long, and we didn't realize that construction projects were literally taking 12, 15 years for projects that should maybe take a year at the most. And it's because these government contractors were sitting on these big government contracts paid out from big globalist companies, from people that they lobbied with to get these contracts, and they sit on for years and years and years collecting money on these contracts because they're getting overpaid, and they have X amount of years to complete it, so they take their sweet time in getting it done while everybody's collecting a paycheck. It's nothing but it's all done this way on purpose, and people have a hard time seeing that. And this is another funny thing to me. I want to see how these super firm Obama supporters are going to react when something happens in this case. He's already lawyered up for for this situation with the surveillance. He's already lawyered up. So I want to see what happens when we start to actually go to court, and they can't continue to hide the facts from people, because right now it's just a situation where they've been able to hide the facts well enough and hide Barack Obama's flaws well enough. Barack Obama does. I'm gonna tell you what he does well. He speaks well. He makes people feel like he believes in them, like he's really this guy that wants to see people do better. But see, they figured out this tactic a long time ago. They figured out that people don't respond to somebody like a Donald Trump because he's not nice. He's not politically correct. He doesn't always say the right thing. They understood that we have to get people in there that can talk, that speak well in front of people, that people will think that are lovable, are nice, and people like, And that's all. Barack Obama was a president celebrity. He was a celebrity president, is what he was, and with no other real skills other than to lie, deceive, and write and make a good speech. Not even write a good speech, make a good speech. So we have to. I'll come out with that now, though. We'll come out with what now, though? But yeah, and George Soros puppet. Like I said, man, a lot of the time I tell people, one of the easiest ways to tell who's connected to what is look at who they're connected to. You'll be able to tell who's good, who's on the right side of this thing, who's on the bad side, depending on who they're connected to. And when you start seeing George Soros, anytime there's international bankers and all this stuff, you'll exactly follow the money. You'll see who's donating to who's doing this for who's where do defense contracts go, certain things like that, man. You'll start to see a lot of this puzzle, a lot of these pieces put itself together for you, and yeah, I agree. All modern day presidents, I won't. Man, it goes before modern day presidents, man. I think it started a long time ago, because I mean, as far as the current level of corruption, as far as the current deep state. Well, it took me a while to figure it out, man. It took me a while to figure out Obama, man. I ain't gonna lie. I voted for him in 2008. I couldn't bring myself to do it in 2012, but I voted for him in 2008 because I believed like everybody else did. And it took me doing my own research, and it took me really learning for myself to see who and what Obama was and what he was perpetrating on the American people. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's come the day where black people have to get out of this thing. Barack Obama is not one of us. He's not a part of our. It is what it is. We have to get rid of this liberal way of thinking. We have to. Yeah, everybody. Listen, white people, black people, whoever. A lot of people voted for Obama because they really thought he signified change, and he signified change. All right, he changed things for the worse. He got us set down, got us set up for this destruction path pretty good. I mean, they had already been setting it up for decades, but he definitely kept pushing it right in the right direction to keep it going the way that they needed it to go. Like I said, everything that happened that predates Trump. It was just a setup to get Hillary Clinton into office, because I think Hillary Clinton was one of the last parts of their phase to where they would have really, because we were going to go to war with Russia this quick as soon as Hillary was elected. We were ready to go to prison. Yeah, I mean, not to prison. I'm thinking about Obama going to prison, but we were ready to go to war with Russia as soon as Hillary Clinton was elected. And that's the thing, man. And I think, and see what's crazy to me, everybody says if you talk negatively about Obama, you're racist. No, I think this country would be open to a black president if he actually was a strong black president with strong American values and cared about this country and did the things he needed to accomplish. It's not about racism. It's about whether or not you are getting the job done for this people, whether or not you are doing your job. And I think that's what people want to see. They want to see somebody doing their job, whether it's going to be Donald Trump, or whether it's going to be me, whether it's going to be Barack Obama, because we all need to understand that we are all part of the human race. We are all in this together. Don't matter what color somebody is, but as long as we have somebody in office that cares about the people, and that means at the lowest forms, then we have to then we like I said, we should embrace this person. And that's currently what's not happening with Donald Trump. But and it's because so many people, Congress needs to be wiped out, and I think that's something we're seeing happen. It's happened naturally. It's going to happen naturally over time with, of course, with all the indictments. We're going to see a lot coming out about Congress, man. A lot of dark is coming to light these days, man. Watch my video on the deep state. You'll see a lot. You'll see a lot about it. But man, that's just it, man. I just want to make it a short, quick little video about just the fraud of Barack Obama, some of the things he did, some of the things. Listen, like I said, just go view it for yourself, man. Obama was good at drug running. He was good at giving speeches, good at things. Hey, look, and also if you guys could do me a huge favor and follow my YouTube page, I would greatly appreciate it. And yes, I do think Trump is different. I do think Trump is for the first time in our lifetimes, I believe Trump is finishing up the job that JFK started, and fighting the globalists, fighting the bankers, fighting the control grid of this country. The deep state web is what Donald Trump is fighting against, and so I will continue to support that. So, but yeah, so if you guys could do me a favor, follow me on YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, all of those great things. And man, I really love to push this truth to you guys, and I'm gonna continue doing it. I'm gonna continue spreading this message to keep trying to unite people. And like I said, hopefully we start to see the change we want. We will start to see the change we want to see, but we definitely have to do what we need to do. But all right, and hey, listen, I thank you all for your support. I seriously do. I really do thank you all for listening. It really, means a lot to me to have this platform. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And yes, there are many traders in our country, but VG07 TV, and I'm out, guys.